Good afternoon. This is Kristen Palmer, Director of Public Affairs at the National Association of Child Care Resource and Referral Agencies. Thank you for joining us today for the physical activity portion of our Train the Trainer webinar series for Let's Move Child Care. Today's guest presenter is Rocio Garlaza, Senior Director of Content Design and Outreach for Sesame Workshop. At this time, I will go ahead and turn over the presentation to Rocio, and I will join you at the conclusion of the webinar for a few closing announcements.
Thank you, Kristen. As Kristen mentioned, I'm Rocio Garlaza, and I work here at Sesame Street. I'm joined in by Amelia Swab, who is Senior Curriculum Specialist for Outreach, and also by Chrissy App, who also is part of our Outreach program, a project, and she is the Director for Healthy Habits for Life. We are going to look at some of the materials today related to Healthy Habits for Life, very particularly at the physical activity material that we have for child care providers. Today we will talk about this exciting bilingual English and Spanish initiative and its child care resources, like I mentioned. We will discuss some of the background information from our research that might be useful for you. And then we'll go through the materials more in focus and highlight some of the physical activity exercises that we have for you. We are going to also provide some ideas on how you can customize the activities to your setting, such as connecting the activities to areas of learning or customizing resources to various ages. To get started, I wanted you to know that after the webinar, what we've developed here are some ideas for you to be able to adapt these Healthy Habits for Life activities to your setting. These are seeds of ideas. What we want you is to take the ideas and make them your own. Many of you will have even better ideas that you will ever find in the materials, and this just will get your creative juices going. So make sure to take many notes and continue to make modifications to the activities as needed. As it is tradition, we always start with a poll, and the poll is about you. We want to know who your favorite Sesame Street character is. So we're launching the poll. Is it Abby, Cookie, Grover, Elmo, or one of the many other characters that we have? We're going to give you a few seconds. We have 68 people have voted. Come on, you can vote. This is your chance to stand up for your favorite character. Okay, 2 more seconds. Okay, I think now we have a clear winner. Share, Elmo, 35%. Is the winner, but close with Cookie. So we all need to get moving if Cookie Monster is our favorite character. We all like cookies very much. We have, as you all know and demonstrated by your participation in this poll, we all have a connection to our Sesame Street characters. We all have stories that we've shared. We either have personal stories that we share with our children, sometimes grandchildren, and this connection is so important for us. We use it as a tool to communicate with parents and caregivers, important messages that they need for their children's well-being. And to talk a little bit more about how we use these characters as connections, I'm going to pass it along to Amelia Swab, who's going to give you an overview and an idea of the perspective. Where is it that we're coming from with Healthy Habits in Sesame Street?
Hi. Today, we're going to be talking about one of our outreach initiatives. And Sesame's outreach initiatives are all multimedia, multilingual projects that use the power of Sesame Street to help families be better equipped to cope with the challenges and needs they face each day, and to help children reach their highest potential. The Sesame Street website, which you can link to directly from here, is jam-packed with materials that can help educators and families with ideas for everything from literacy to emergency preparedness to today's topic, which is Healthy Habits for Life. So how does one approach this project, which is on such a big and complicated topic like health? Well, here at Sesame, we have what we call the Sesame Workshop model. It helps guide us through our thinking process and understand the needs of children. So we start by looking at the need. As we all know, now more than ever, it's important to promote healthy habits in our children and families. And we at Sesame Street looked into the need for a project such as this one. And we found that the national data on obesity among children was affecting us all. Statistically speaking, almost 14 million children, 25% of the U.S. population from ages 2 to 17 are obese, and an additional 8.6 million are at risk. 86% of obese children become that way before the age of 6. Low-income preschoolers are at risk for undernutrition and obesity. Obesity-related adult diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes are being found in children as young as 3 and 4 years old. With the prevalence of these obesity issues, it is not surprising to discover that the average 3-year-old today is physically active for a mere 20 minutes per day. So our process continues with research conducted with parents, children, and providers. Research helps us understand what children and parents already know and what they want to know, and how to build on their strengths and knowledge. Today I will share with you the findings from our parent study in this initiative. So our parent study was a survey conducted online at sesamestreet.org with a total of 1,205 people. 86% of the respondents were mothers and 14% were fathers. The purpose of this study was to understand preschoolers' parents' perceptions of nutrition, physical activity, and responsibility for children's health status. And based on the analysis of parents' responses, 3 groups of respondents emerged: health-conscious, skeptics, and strugglers. So the health-conscious group, 52% of the sample, scored statistically higher on negative attitudes towards overweight status and the importance of food and exercise compared to other groups. The skeptics, 24%, scored statistically higher on skeptical beliefs and statistically lower on parental and corporate responsibility and the importance of healthy food and exercise. The strugglers, 24%, scored statistically higher on the struggle over food than any other group. These findings suggest that there are different attitudes and beliefs about the roles of exercise and nutrition in children's health. And we concluded from this research that messages that would benefit certain parents might not be useful to or received well by others. As we developed communication strategies about nutrition and physical activity, we considered how various messages could be tailored to meet the needs of different families. So there's a window of opportunity during a child's preschool years in which her early social environment can impact the development of healthy habits. This is the point in the child's life where information provided by Sesame Workshop and yourselves can have a big impact. Depending on this, we developed the Healthy Habits for Life initiative. This is a multi-year, content-driven initiative to help young children and their caregivers establish an early foundation of healthy habits that can last a lifetime. It was developed with the consultation of leading experts in the area of preschool health, nutrition, physical education, endocrinology, and pediatrics. It also utilizes Sesame Street's various media channels to deliver age-appropriate, educational, and compelling health messages. The Healthy Habits for Life initiative ultimately empowers children and families with greater knowledge and appreciation for their health and bodies. And at Sesame Street, we know the kit succeeds because it offers the chance to pick and choose among activities based on key messages to find what will work best for providers during their daily program. Some messages for children include: being physically active is fun, enjoyable, and something that you can and should do each day. Try more fruits and vegetables. Eat at least 5 servings a day while enjoying eating a rainbow of colors. What you eat and drink helps you learn, play, and grow. Getting to know your body and learning to eat a balance of sometime and anytime foods can help lead a healthy life. For grown-ups, the key messages include: parents and caregivers can be wonderful role models for eating healthy and exercising and can use everyday moments to help children learn, practice, and celebrate healthy habits. And now that you know the messages, you might wonder why we focused an entire resource kit for child care providers. And we did so because they are important. There is no question that the many important roles they place in children's lives. They are a friend, teacher, mentor, and role model for the children in their care. Also, in our research, they asked for materials specifically about healthy habits. They were wondering how they could include these messages within their existing curriculum. And in addition, they wanted materials that create a homeschool connection. So now I am pleased to introduce the Healthy Habits for Life Child Care Resource Kit. The kit offers children lots of opportunities for fun and learning among its different components. In it, Sesame Street characters model fun ways to move and play. It encourages children to explore and enjoy healthy foods. It provides opportunities to build self-confidence and help children feel good about themselves. And it describes fun and age-appropriate ways to grow up healthy, strong, and happy. The kit also succeeds because it offers children many opportunities for fun and learning among its different components. The kit includes a DVD, a binder, a storybook, and a poster. These materials are also available online at sesameworkshop.org/healthyhabits. We also know that the kit succeeds because it was designed so providers can choose what will work best during their daily plans. For example, they can use any section or lesson at any time. They can take a seed idea from the kit and adapt it to fit the needs of their program. And they can use the kit with materials and equipment already available in their setting. The Healthy Habits for Life kit can help integrate healthy activities within an existing curriculum. The kit was developed with the idea that each group is a healthy team who together can learn and develop healthy habits. And it offers ways to strengthen the homeschool connection, to help providers connect with the children's families so that the child receives support in school and at home as he learns to weave healthy habits into his everyday life. The DVD component offers two types of videos. A new Sesame Street story that can be watched as a whole story or used in bits and pieces to fit into a curriculum, as well as short segments straight from Sesame Street that can be used individually to introduce some of the healthy habits concepts in the binder. So let's take a look at a clip from the Get Healthy Now video that encourages physical activity.
Hey, Rosita, who's up next?
I don't know. Do you?
I have no idea.
Hi, Mama!
But I do.
Whoa. It's the count!
We are ready to be part of the Get Healthy Now show.
Super! Take it away, Count Von Clown.
I'm here with Joey, Anna, and Michael.
Hi.
Hello.
Now, who knows where in your body is your heart?
Oh, I know. It's here.
Show me.
I know. Your heart is right here. Is that right?
Here.
Yes, it is right here in your chest. And do you know what I love to count?
No.
Heartbeats. So, with this heartbeat counting stethoscope, I will now count Joey's heartbeats.
Oh, boy.
Do you hear that? It's Joey's heart. Amazing. Now, let's count the beats. You two, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wonderful. Now, what do you think will happen to Joey's heartbeat if he jumps up and down? Any guesses?
I think, we get louder, maybe?
Well, then, let's find out. Maestro, jumping music, please. Start jumping. You two, get up and jump. Are you jumping? Excellent. It is very good for you, you know. The more you move and jump, the healthier your body is getting. Okay, stop the music. Now, let's listen to Joey's heartbeat. What happened?
It's faster.
Yes, it is beating faster. That is why moving and jumping is so good for you. It gives you a healthy heart. So, keep on moving your body. And now it's back to the show.
So as you can see, this is a fun video that encourages kids to get up and move around while also connecting it to what's happening in their bodies. The Storybook, the Get Healthy Now show, is a colorful supplement to the video story about Elmo and the Big Tomato, and turns story time, which is normally a passive activity, into an active one. For example, children can join Elmo in standing and stretching. Each page offers another opportunity to integrate healthy habits into different curriculum areas. The 3-part poster that comes with the kit, Every Day is a Healthy Day, helps further reinforce healthy habits. Each kit contains 5 posters which can be sent home with children as part of the important homeschool connection aspect of this program. If more than 5 posters are needed, please download and print more at sesamestreet.org/healthy habits. The poster touches on eating, resting, and physical activity. Here, Grover highlights all of the different fun ways that you can move. So now let's take a look at the Child Care Resource Binder. Section 1, Get Moving, focuses on physical activity. Children explore how their bodies work. They discover how it feels to jump, dance, and play every day. They'll explore the health benefits of moving and how it affects their hearts, lungs, bones, and muscles. In Section 2, Food and Drink to Grow On, highlights ways that we can all make healthy food choices. Children explore that choosing a wonderful rainbow of foods is a great way to eat. They also learn that what makes a healthy meal or snack, and will begin to understand that they can eat certain healthy and nutrient-rich foods anytime, but high-fat, sugary foods should be eaten only sometimes. They'll also learn to pay attention to their body's signals, so they'll know what they need to be happy and healthy. For example, how do they know they're hungry or full, and what should they do with these signals? Section 3, Every Day is a Healthy Day, builds upon the first 2 sections to help children remember what they've learned and celebrate their new knowledge. Children reinforce what they've learned through activities focusing on healthy eating and movement. They practice using the knowledge they've gained to make healthy choices, even when there are obstacles like a rainy day. And they'll celebrate what they've learned. Activities will help children take pride in all the learning that's been happening in their program. For example, groups can play games together, make healthy superhero bracelets, and plan a healthy, happy party for all. So I'm going to hand it off now to Rocio, who will focus more on the specifics about Get Moving.
Well, as you saw the materials already, the other materials for children and for adults really do have the moving aspect to them throughout. The book has actually an entire page or section where children are supposed to be moving as animals and doing some different movements as they read. The poster is a constant reminder of the many different moves. But really, the Get Moving section on the Child Care Resource Kit gives you tools and ideas that you can use in your everyday routines and with your curriculum to actually really help children move every day. So let's focus on this section for now, and let's explore what type of movements we can actually do. But before then, I want to know, what is the biggest challenge that you've encountered in creating opportunities for physical activity? We know that there's always difficulties in our programs, and we want to know what they are. So there's not enough preparation time for planning activities, there's not enough space in the child care setting, is appropriate equipment not available, is it difficult to find time in the daily schedule for physical activity, any other challenges that you've had? We're going to give you a few seconds. Only half has voted, so everybody join in the polling, please. Let's see. Very good. Very useful. Okay? Let's close the polling and let's share. So the two biggest issues are the space limitations in the childcare setting, which is very understandable. There's so much, this is just, there's so much space that you can have for all the different activities. And there's not enough preparation time to plan activities. So for both of them, actually, we can help. We have activities in the childcare resource kit that can actually help you brainstorm on how to plan easily or faster, and also how to use different types of settings for to get the children moving and their hearts beating faster. So we know that what's recommended is 2 hours per day. And we know that people expect childcare providers to do both structured activities and free play, to try indoor and outdoor activities, and to also encourage and model healthy behavior by moving along with children. And what we've done in this resource kit is provide you with ideas to do all of the above. Again, it's providing you with the ideas. We know that really the hard work and the making sure that this 2 hours a day really does depend on your program and the daily activities that you have. But this should help you really explore different ways that you can see maybe some of the activities that you've already doing, and make them more into movement activities, more into physical activities as well. All right. So the first chapter of the Get Moving material, the Child Care Resource Kit, was created to have children explore how they are already moving and playing. We think that the best way to get children excited about it is to build upon the innate impulses of children to move and to really want to have active time. And so the strategies that you will see here are will seem very daily routine, very casual, but it's because we want children to understand how is it that their body moves. They're customizable activities as well. So you can, as I keep mentioning, I'm sorry that I'm a broken record, but you will be able to customize these activities the more that you actually read them and explore them with your children. Let's give an example. This is a structured physical activity. We provided a poem, and the poem is a dancing poem or a movement poem. As you see, some of the words I highlighted, and they're in different fonts for you to be able to highlight them with your children as you read the poem. So they will be able to dance, to run, to jump, to hop, to wiggle, to stop, being able to feel how different their body feels as they stop a movement, to twist, to tap, to stomp, and to clap. So all of these are different types of movements that children are exploring just in one page, in one poem. Okay? And it doesn't require any prep time. It's just a poem. Okay? The say it, do it, I'm sorry that you cannot see it more closely, but it's again more of the no prep time type of idea that you can use to even extend the poem and explore even more movement. And you don't need a big space to clap, to stomp, and to twist. So this is what I'm trying to say, that this is you can customize this activity to any setting, and you don't necessarily need special equipment to do it as well. So these activities are very, very flexible. Let's get another activity. The name of this one is Move Along. Again, it's a structured physical activity. And it actually turns story time very similarly as we did with the storybook into something that is not a passive, it's an active experience. In this story, Big Bird, Elmo, and Zoe travel along, and they deliver Gina's grocery list in Hooper's store. And as they travel along, they're doing all sorts of different movements. So the idea, again, is for children to see how they can be moving even when they're reading stories. And this is just an example. You can take any of the stories that you have as part of your libraries or the storybooks that you have and have the same idea. Take any of the action words of the stories and try and have children pretend to do those actions. All right. So on Get Moving, the second chapter, we wanted children to start seeing that movement and growing are actually go together, right? We wanted them to see how moving affected their bodies. And so this is when we use, for example, that count segment that we just saw, where the count is tying the movement to how the heartbeat changes, and take it further with activities that you can do in your program. We encourage children to move in different ways, to play a lot every day, which I know that you're doing already, but it's building on it. And we'll build active time that is already in children's routine, as we've done earlier, but this time it's a little bit more of a rigorous, I would say. And we offer children choices to empower them to take charge of their health. Here you have apple and bananas, which is actually more on the next section of the Child Care Resource Kit, but you also have hokey pokey or jump rope, which is more of the movement type of activities that we're talking about today. So during free play, now for this one I do admit you do need a little bit more space, because it's taking an outdoor game that is very, very common, a tag game, and making it into not only a math lesson but also a physical activity opportunity. So similar to freeze tag, children take turns to being the it. And once children are frozen, they stay in their place with their hands touching the wrist and forming a V. So the idea is that children are running around, playing tag, learning about what a triangle is, and getting those hearts pumping. Now in the third section, it's what my body tells me. Here it's going beyond. They know that physical activity is tying to their body, but it also includes some it begins to include some of the healthy foods, healthy eating messages, because you cannot completely detach those two. Children need to know that they need foods as fuel for their moving, for their physical activity. And so in this chapter, it begins to tie both concepts to then go into more of the nutrition activities in the next chapter. Now look into the energy dance. Let's see if Prairie Dawn can move. Yeah, Prairie Dawn moving. In the energy dance, which you can do indoors, outdoors, it's one of the favorite activities for children. They can dance, and as they dance, they can learn about eating healthy foods and how the healthy foods really help them run, play, and learn. Dancing is, again, something that you can do anytime, anywhere. It doesn't take a lot of prep time other than having some music, or even you don't necessarily need music. You can just be clapping and chanting as you dance. The idea here is to tie in, though, take the dancing a little further and tie in dancing with the concept of energy. So these are just, 4 activities out of the many activities that you have in the resource kit. What we are going to go on next is to give you some ideas on how to connect the Healthy Habits for Life into other areas of learning, because the truth is that part of the problems that we're having with physical activities, that we have so many other things that we need to do during the daily routines, and so many other curricular areas to include. So let's see how we can tie them in. So when it comes to math and science, and I think the count does this so well, counting heartbeats, it's a great opportunity for children to start learning some higher counting skills. And science, we've been talking about energy. We've been talking about how food is fuel. So you see how physical activity really has a really clear tie-in to math and science. Literacy and vocabulary, and you will see it throughout that first chapter. We tie it in a lot by having children explore some of those vocabulary words that they can learn while they are actually doing some of these movements. And literacy, again and again, you've seen some of the examples of making books, making reading more than just the passive activity, but really an active experience. And art in motion with dancing, the energy dance, you have on a good example there. But there are some other activities in which children actually color or explore some part of art, and then afterwards can join in by doing the motion of what the character is doing. So we have a range of learning areas included within the same chapter. Now, I want to learn a little bit more about you in order to do the next section. I want to know what ages of children do you have in your programs, because I know that sometimes many of your programs serve several different age groups. And sometimes they serve them all at the same time in one same group, so it's helpful. Yes, and as expected, you have a mix of these ages. I don't think we need to see everybody voting. I think it's an overwhelming response. So 87% of you have a mix. So we need to learn how to take these activities and age them up and down depending on your needs. So let's think and let's consider some questions that could help you as you try to customize the activities into different ages. So question number 1, why might all the children in the program enjoy this activity? Question number 2, for what age range is this activity intended to? And I can tell you that all these activities are intended for preschool age. So if you have children that are 5 to 8 years or 0 to 2 years, we'll have to brainstorm together a little bit on how these activities might best fit you. How can this benefit all the children in my classroom? Do I already have an activity that is similar to this one? If so, how can I integrate what I already do with the resource kit activity? And again, this is good not only for customizing to various ages, but just overall as you customize the activities to your settings. And will the activity need a special equipment or materials for children to be able to enjoy it, or perhaps extend it? The activities are not, all of them actually, are not developed with the idea that you need extra equipment, but if you do have extra equipment that could help develop the activity further for those older children or younger children, that's something to consider. And then finally, are there ways in which the older children can help prepare for the activity? Older children, actually, and even the preschoolers that are in the older side, they're really great helpers, and they want to help. So it's good to use that capacity or ability that they have to help others, and perhaps use them as you customize the activities. Here are some ideas, though, that we have that might help you as you start looking into adapting it to different ages. For babies, you can hold them while you sing and dance, or you can put them in a safe place where they can see everyone. Babies like to see others, particularly the preschoolers. And I can tell you this from first experience, because my 1-year-old just loves to see other children do the things that she wants to learn how to do. And you can encourage the other children to talk to the babies while doing the activities. That's one way that they can join in and they can feel they're participating. For kindergartners to 3rd grade, you can ask for their help as you set up and organize activities. And you can invite them to show their skills to younger children. They're mastering tasks and that will help them feel self-confident and create a strong self-image when they're able to pass along some of the tasks that they master already. For 4th and 5th graders, you can give them opportunities to be in charge. Maybe they can be the leaders in some of the activities. And you can give children other tasks also to complete independently. They don't always have to participate in the same activities, and that's okay. So depending on your program, you can follow all of these ideas step by step, or you can customize them. As is my experience with childcare providers, you have much better ideas that we can come up with. You know your settings best, and you know your children best. So I know that these activities can be seeds of ideas for much greater activities and ideas for later. Now let's open the chat room and let's ask some questions to continue the discussion. I apologize for the hammering. We're under construction at Sesame Street. Kristen, any questions?
Yes, they're coming in now, so I'm going to give you a few in just a moment.
Great.
Are there any activity ideas for children with special needs?
In this particular childcare resource, we haven't highlighted any activities that are for children with special needs. There are some activities that it depends on the special need too. I think that's part of why we haven't highlighted them in particular. But you should look into the activities anyway, because I think there might be easy ways to customize them. Again, it's looking for the special equipment if needed. Some of the questions that we discussed today could be helpful.
Now, within this curriculum, is there information that defines what structured play is versus free play, for those who don't know?
Well, let's start by saying that this is not a curriculum. This complements the curriculum that you're already implementing in your program. And that's an important distinction because we don't expect the activity ideas that we provide you to be the sole source of physical activity in your program. Now, I do believe that structured play and free play is mentioned in the first chapter in particular. Free play again relates to is very similar to what we talked about in the triangle tag. And the structured play are more activities that really have more of a step-by-step, and through the step-by-step, children really do incorporate some of the physical activity that we want them to do.
Okay, our next question, has there been any research conducted that demonstrates impact of healthy habits for life?
Yes, there has been. There has been research with different groups, and fortunately, we can share with you because it's been actually very, very positive. Different groups, and when I say different groups, I mean we've done research with family childcare, we've done research with more center-based childcare providers, and different groups actually prefer different things. For some of the family childcare, having some of the nutrition information was very, very helpful. For some of the childcare providers in more center-based, having some of the ideas on physical activity has been, again, very helpful. So,
and this is Chrissy Abb chiming in here. I'm the project manager for this. We have my contact information on the slide later, so if anyone's interested in seeing some of those research reports, you can just email me and I'd be happy to share them with you. As Rocio was mentioning, they're pretty overwhelmingly positive, so we've been really happy with the feedback that we've gotten.
Okay, now our next question. Are these materials available for Spanish-speaking and bilingual children?
Yes, they are. All the materials are actually bilingual. Even the videos, they're in English and in Spanish. So you can find them in the website in both languages. I'm particularly proud of that.
Our next question. Although there is an ongoing effort to reduce screen time in childcare, does this program, or is this program based on more screen time?
No, actually, and if you see the materials, you'll see that the screen time is actually very limited. What we use screen time for within the materials is to explain or to introduce hard concepts like energy, for example, and sometime anytime foods related to nutrition that might be easier for children to grasp if they have a Sesame Street character in them, explaining it to them. But it's the amount of time that we expect children from these materials to be in front of the screen is very small. And also, we've been very careful when we've included the Sesame Street video, in that the video is very active. Children do have an active role while they watch the videos themselves. So.
And I'd like to mention, while you can watch the video as one long story, like Rocio mentioned in the content of the webinar, there are also places where we encourage you to break it up. So it might be just watching like the clip that we saw today, which is about 4 minutes, and that would be the only screen time that the kids would get all week from this program. And it's really up to you to figure out what screen time you're already showing your kids in your program and figuring out if this is something that can supplement that or add to it, or if you just want to use the non-screen time activities in the book.
Yes, but just to be clear, most, if not all, the activities on the book, the screen time that you're going to get is very limited. And we, 3 minutes, and then the rest of the book actually expands on the messages on the screen with really hands-on activities. And that's a great question. We've heard that many times, and we actually heard it before as we were creating the materials themselves. And so we were very careful because we know this is something that you have to consider as you're planning for activities.
Now, is there a cost associated with this kit?
No, the kit is free, and it's free available online. And all the videos are also available there, so free of charge. We want to spread the word. Again, there's no cost related to this, and we want child care providers to be able to benefit from materials like this, because we've heard from you that this is very much needed, and so we want others to know and to take advantage of them.
Okay, that's all the questions we have time for this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone for sharing your questions, for participating. We hope that you will be able to access the materials and use them. Please share with us. Please share with us any other feedback that you might have, any questions. We'll be happy to help.
If you could advance a slide, you could see that we have my contact information on the next slide. Sorry, I think we're working on that.
Okay, oh, there we go.
So you can email me at christina.app@sesame.org if you have any questions. I'd also be happy to share with you some findings of our summative research reports. And if we go to the next slide, you can see the URL where you can download free copies of all of these materials in English and in Spanish. And that's it from Sesame.
Thank you, ladies. For more information about Let's Move Childcare, please visit www.healthykidhealthyfuture.org. And if you have questions, you can email lmcchelp@cdc.gov. Thank you.